Mix 94.7 KMCH, our guest of the day segment today with us. We have Tim Vick in the studio, Manchester City Manager. Hey, Tim, how's it going?
Good morning, Mike. How are you doing today?
Try that again.
Good morning, Mike. How are you doing today?
Doing fantastic. Hey, let's start by doing a real quick recap of last night's meeting that you had.
Well, that makes sense. It was a short meeting, so it'll be quick.
Be quick. Hired a new police officer.
We did. Tim Montgomery is retiring. This week is his last week, and we wish him well. We have a new officer that'll be coming. We'll need to do some training with him. We'll have to go through the academy and stuff, but looking forward to seeing the new person on the force.
Jordan.
Yeah,
okay. Communication Center agreement?
Yep, 2-year agreement extension. We currently have a 28E agreement with Delaware County for communication center. As you know, the city of Manchester does the communication center, where we run and operate the communication center for the entire county. And so the agreement spells out the cost share between the city and the county.
Airport Improvement Program.
Yep, we're out there. We're applying for a grant again to replace our fuel facility out there. We've applied for this grant a couple different times and have not been awarded, but we're going to continue to apply until we can get it awarded and get that updated and relocated.
All right. And the 100 block of South Franklin Street, going to be hopping June 5th.
It sure is. We're going to have the Rubik's on the river, I believe is the full name of that.
Yes.
So replace rhubarb on the river, but this will be Rubik's on the river. My understanding is they have 3 barbecue food trucks coming in for this event as well. So it'll be a change up a little bit. It'll be a little bit different. We didn't have it last year, so why not make some changes and do things a little outside of our comfort zone.
All right, very good. So that's a Manchester Chamber event that we're going to talk with Allie a little bit more about that coming up on Friday. So now you also have a meeting coming up tonight that we want to let everybody know about. The Maquoketa River Watershed Survey. We've had you on talking about this here a few times over the last year or so. Let's talk a little bit about what this is all about and what's going to be happening tonight.
Sure. The city of Manchester is part of the Maquoketa River Watershed Management Authority, and that's a mouthful. So I'm just going to call it the WMA from now on.
Okay.
But we have also partnered with the University of Iowa's Iowa Initiative for Sustainable Communities. And the University of Iowa is really going to help them develop this watershed management plan. And a part of that plan, they were doing this survey. The survey is working with different people within the community, within the farm community, everyone that's impacted by the watershed. Now, when we say the watershed, we're not just meaning the Maquoketa River, even though it's a Maquoketa River watershed. We're also talking about all the small streams that feed into it, the farm creeks, all those other things that the water comes from to feed into the Maquoketa River. And so we're trying to find ways to, one, improve water quality. We want to make sure we have good quality water, clean water, because we recreate in that. We've got the Whitewater Park here in Manchester. We have a lot of people that tube. They have a lot of people that fish. So we want that water quality to be there and improve that habitat. The other item we really look at is flooding, and how do you impact the areas with flooding? And cities are really concerned about flooding because it impacts people's lives, structures, and values that way. Well, the farmers are concerned about flooding as well too, because it impacts their farm fields. So we have to look at ways to designate areas that can be impacted by flooding. That's where your marsh comes in. That's where your wetlands come in. And then the wetlands and the marshes all treat water, so that helps with the water quality. So these are all things we're trying to work on and get that planning done. And so having the students help us with that is a huge benefit, because we're all staffed with volunteers in the WMA and don't necessarily have enough time to dedicate to do all that. Whereas we have students that are doing this as part of their schoolwork and their classwork, their capstone. So they're going to dedicate the more time and commitment to it. So this is a huge partnership.
So how did this come about with the University of Iowa students and the WMA?
Well, the city of Manchester had a number of projects as part of our initiative for sustainable communities with them. And so we didn't have enough projects in-house for them to work on. So I talked to the council and said, hey, the WMA could really use this to help them get kick-started, to get things going. And so the council agreed to allow one of our engineering projects to go to them. And so that way we're helping out another entity with the project we were working with the University of Iowa. So that kind of started. Now they're going to be part of it again next year. And there's going to be a number of projects, because the WMA impacts 9 counties. So it's a huge area. So and it's not all the same. When you start talking about the upper Maquoketa, up around Strawberry and Backbone, and the way we are here in Manchester versus the middle, you get south of Lake Delhi, or down at the end when you get down to Maquoketa, the water quality of the watershed's different. And so there are different ways you have to treat that. There's more bluffs and hillsides once you get into Jackson County, whereas we have rolling farm hills up here and around Arlington and around Strawberry Point. So that has a different impact on how you do things.
Yes, definitely. And so at tonight's meeting, people can log on via the Zoom. You've got the link for that under the, I believe it's under the WMA's.
Yeah, it's the Maquoketa River, WMA.org. You have to pre-register. We require the pre-registration to help minimize the potential for someone to Zoom bomb, disrupt the meeting.
Sure.
So you pre-register. It's really easy. Go to Maquoketa River, WMA.org, and the link is right there. And you get pre-registered. The meeting starts at 7:00 tonight. It will be recorded. They will put it on the website later on. If you have questions, if you have anything, comments you'd like to add, contact Lori Scoville. She is the watershed coordinator at this time with Limestone Bluffs, RC&D. And you can reach her through the Maquoketa River, WMA.org website.
All right. Very good. So, the river has always been a vital part, but here, especially as planning has been going on like in the last decade or so, it's become even a bigger and more important part of our area and all the areas that it does touch.
It has been, and we really focus on that as an economic engine. It's going to bring people into town. It's going to be part of their tourism. So the water quality is really important for us to be able to have that. Plus, improving the quality of the fishing around here really is what brings people in. And I think that's what makes Northeast Iowa so great.
All right. Anything you want to add?
Mike, I'm just really excited. I know the weather is perfect outside. It's one of those days you don't really want to sit on a Zoom meeting. But if you can make it, again, this impacts us all. And so it's an hour tonight from 7:00 till about 8:00. If you can get on there and log in and find out more information. If you want to volunteer, we're always looking for volunteers because, again, we're doing samples. Please talk to Lori Scoville, help out. We're also looking for board members. If you have an interest in being on the board, let us know.
All right. Tim Vick with us from the city of Manchester. And again, that meeting tonight that people can attend via Zoom gets underway at 7 p.m. Thank you very much, sir.
Thanks, Mike.
Our guest of the day segment brought to you this morning on KMCH by Bill Thomas Farm Bureau.